starting. The Hangout is live. Congratulations, everybody. We were just waiting ages for the Hangout to start, but it seems like it started. So hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 259 of the Ask the Coach show, where PingSkills helps you improve your table tennis. For Throwback Thursday, we're taking a look back at a video called I Can't Return That Smash. In the questions, we talk about keeping the ball low, the forehand of the chopper Gionis, I messed that up again, and we talk about weight training. I'm Jeff Plum, and as always, Super Coach Alois Rosario is here with me to answer your questions. Welcome, Alois.
Thank you, Jeffrey, and nice to be back again. So all is well, and hope you are too.
Absolutely. Now, how do you pronounce that chopper's name again?
Jonas.
Jonas. There you go.
Panagiotis.
Gionis.
Yeah.
Gionis. We'll talk about his forehand later in the show. But for the moment, Alois, let's get straight back into Throwback Thursday because, it is Thursday. And we want to talk about a video called I Can't Return That Smash.
Yeah, it's a good one. We often get questions from our readers, viewers, saying, like, I have problems, the other guy just smashes at me and I can't return it. The crux of the issue is that, firstly, you shouldn't be putting yourself in that position too often to have to return smashes. So how do we do that? The main thing is, we want to try and keep that ball low, keep it to difficult positions for your opponent so that they haven't got the opportunity to make the smashes. So that's the real crux of it, not about being able to return the smash. Once the other person has that opportunity, the ball's up high and they're in position and they smash it. I mean, you're really only a 10% chance of winning the rally. So it's more about preventing that situation happening.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? And I guess this occurs in a lot of situations in life. You're better off not getting yourself into a bad situation in the first place, then you don't have to worry about it.
Prevention.
Makes a lot of sense.
Prevention.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to me. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick a note in the show notes, a link to that video. So check it out on pingskills.com, click on the blog. You'll find show 259, and there'll be a list of all the links in this episode. So check that one out. I Can't Return That Smash, it's called. All right. Now, moving on to yesterday's PingSkills question of the day, Alois. It was, should boosting be allowed?
Yes. Well, we did have a few responses that I'm just trying to find right now. There they are. Thad said, yes, I think so. So he's in favor of boosting. Matt Messi says it depends on how high the wall is. Very funny, Matt. Mukul said, if you do not know techniques, boosting will bring more problems for you. I think boosting should not be allowed. And that's true. Like we're talking about having a faster bat. And if your technique isn't good, then it just gets you into trouble. Rory said boosting is a pain in the rear end. That being said, there are certain rubbers that does not seem to be an alternative if you like it. So, he thinks that you need to boost some of especially the tacky Chinese rubbers to get effect out of them. But Duncan, haven't heard from Duncan for a while, but thank you, Duncan, said if adequate testing can't be supplied at a local league level, there is 0 point in attempting to stop boosting. May as well allow it across the board. At least that way it's fair and players can choose whether or not to do it for themselves. Personally, boosting doesn't help me. It just makes me miss my forehand loop more. And Duncan, I know, does a lot of chopping as well, so wouldn't really help the chopping. But wise words there, Duncan.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because I guess the original ban on speed gluing was all the concern about the health benefits. So you can understand that the ITTF wouldn't want any issues with health plaguing the sport. So that kind of made sense. But with the boosting these days, is if there's no health issues associated with it, then maybe it's worth another look.
Yeah, I think it probably is. And I think, as Duncan said, the issue is that there's so many players out there actually boosting that the clean ones, the ones that are doing the right thing, are actually at a disadvantage, and the authorities can't test for the booster at this stage. So, if you can't test for it, if you can't enforce a law, there's no point to the law.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at the 100-meter sprints or cycling, Alois. Surely we don't want to just allow free-for-all on those events and allow people to take any sort of drugs just because we can't test for them.
But yeah, no, but you can test for a lot of those things, and the other thing is that they are harmful to the body. So I think that's another issue. So the chemicals that they're putting in their bodies, to help them run faster, are no good for you. They're no good for your body. Boosters, on the other hand, there's some pretty safe boosters that don't do any harm, but they are increasing the speed.
Yes, but then would people go back to if you just had a free-for-all, would people go back to just using the harmful glues that they used to use?
But they can test for those. So they can test for the harmful glues. They can't test for boosters.
There you go. So, yeah, interesting one. And thanks, everyone, for your input. And we actually need your input again for today's PingSkills question of the day, which is there a better name for modern defender? I mean, the modern defender's been around for so long, I don't think we can call them modern anymore. I suggested attacking defender. Alois didn't like it, so it's over to you guys. What should we call the modern defender? Jump onto our Facebook page or onto the PingSkills website and leave a comment. Love to hear your thoughts. All righty. Okay, it is time for this day in history. What happened on the 28th of April?
That's a good question. On this day, yes, 1926, Harper Lee was born. Jeffrey Harper Lee, author of To Kill a Mockingbird, one of the greatest books of all time.
There you go. To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah. And she only died very recently in February this year. She died. And she had just written or just released another book. Go Set a Watchman. So it was just released in 2015. So, so a bit sad, Harper Lee, but yeah, today is her birthday, 1926.
There you go. Good one. I like it. All right. Well, now...
Sorry. And it's also Mick War's birthday. Don't let me forget that. Mick War, off a very regular contributor, especially to our PingSkills question of the day, mainly having a go at Scott Houston. But, yeah, happy birthday, Mick War.
There you go. Happy birthday, Mick. Indeed. Good one. All right, now it is time to move on to the questions, Alois. And first up is one from Dominic. He says, I'm a pen holder and I struggle to send and return the ball low over the net. Do you have any tips or tricks to help me improve?
Oh, have we ever, Dominic? We certainly have a good little trick for you. So the trick we use is that you get a string and put it above the net. So what you do is you put up a couple of posts attached to the net and then attach a string across the top of the net from there. So we've got a video on it on keeping the ball low, and Jeff will put a link in the show notes to that video, and you can take a look there and you will see a really good way of starting to focus yourself on keeping the ball low. And Dominic, it doesn't really matter whether you're a pen holder or a shake hand or a C Miller grip or whatever, this will work for you.
Yeah, it's quite amazing, isn't it? And it sounds a little complicated, but if you watch the video, it's really easy to set up. And then it's amazing how quickly people adjust once they've got that target there to aim for.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, definitely take a look at the video and just rig the little contraption up yourself. Take you 2 minutes, and it'll help you to keep that ball low really quickly.
Brilliant. All right. Well, good luck with that, Dominic. Now, David says, Gionis. I knew I was going to get it wrong. Gionis on his forehand sometimes can't use a smash or a topspin, but he doesn't go for a forehand chop like other modern defenders, but instead he just holds his bat very flat and hits the ball back from a low position. What is special about this?
Yeah, so we'll put a link to a bit of a video that was on there as well. And basically what he does, so he lets, because he can't get the ball early, the ball drops really low, and all he does, or looks like he does, is he just puts the bat at the ball, and the ball's almost bouncing on the floor, and he just pushes it forward with almost no effort. So what that does is, firstly, what he does is he keeps that ball really low over the net. And it also doesn't have much pace on it. So then for the attacker, often you'll find that the attacker will try to do a little bit too much and will end up making an error, or at least the attacker can't play a strong shot, and then Jonas is back into the rally to play the rest of the rally. So it's a little bit like a fishing shot, but it's even softer, and it is just basically just almost like a soft block from way back at the table, almost on the floor, and just keeping that ball really low over the net.
Yeah, and I guess just mixing up between the chop and this block shot can just make it a little bit more difficult for his opponent as well.
Yeah, it does. It makes it, as you say, that like that variation is a key. So that really helps him to win some points. But it also just puts a bit of a pressure on the attacker. You know, the attacker's in an attacking position. They think that they've got to hit the ball harder, and then suddenly they get this really low ball, and they try to hit that too hard and can make a mistake. I mean, in itself, it is a simple shot because the ball's just coming low and slow and flat to you. But if you try to do too much with it, you can make an error. So, yep. So that's why it's so effective.
Indeed. Good question, David, and good to see you watching Gionis there and keeping up with some of the top players. It's really good to watch the best players in the world. It's fun and it helps your game as well. So good work. All right. Next up is a question from Ronil, who says, while researching, I came across a comment that training with weights that have a mass significant relative to your body weight can cause a decrease in fine motor skills. Have you any knowledge or experience with regards to this?
Yeah, I don't think so. So I haven't seen the research on it or anything, but I mean, a lot of top players use weights to train with and use fairly heavy weights. So you know, just continue to do your bodybuilding and your strength work. I mean, you don't need to have huge muscles to play table tennis, but it's not going to interfere too much either. So don't worry about it. Keep going with your bodybuilding. Your touch will continue, or you will remain and increase and get better by just practicing a little bit more as well. So yeah, keep going with your bodybuilding. That's completely fine.
There you go. All right. Thanks for the question, Ronil. And Basia has jumped on and asked a question through the Google Q&A button. And he says, what is topspin?
Ah, good question, because we talk about this word all the time, don't we? What is topspin? So topspin is basically where you're making the ball rotate forwards. Okay, so the ball's spinning forwards. So that means the ball has topspin on it. So we often get that spin by playing a topspin stroke, which we start with our bat down nice and low and finish with our bat up nice and high. And on the way through, we're making a contact, which then spins the ball forward. So we're doing that to spin the ball forward. I'll show you with the spin wheel. Oh, there it is. So with the spin wheel, there's 12. There it is. You're starting below the ball contact position and then coming up and spinning the ball forward. So that is what a top spin is.
Absolutely. Yeah, good one. And Basir also says, I'm a new table tennis player. So I guess the important thing about topspin, Alois, is that it causes the ball to dip.
Yeah, absolutely. So what it does is then because the ball's spinning like that, it dips quicker onto the table, which means that you can hit the ball really fast and the ball will still go on the table because it's got that nice dipping action. So it does this and dips onto the table quickly. So that's why topspin is so important in table tennis, and more important than any other racket sports. So yeah, so you just really need to start to work with that topspin to develop your game further.
Absolutely. All right, Alois. Well, that wraps up show 259. Another great show. Hope everyone enjoyed it. Make sure you check out PingSkills.com. Sign up for our free newsletter packed full of table tennis tips every week. And Alois, we're going to have a bit of a break because you are doing some coaching.
Yes, I'll be doing some coaching in a few places around the world. So yeah, stay tuned for a few interesting comments about that. But yeah, we'll see you in a couple of weeks. And I think Dita's just jumped on and
awesome.
asked something. Yep. So
all right.
So Dita said, if we're still practicing topspin on deep balls and try integrating it into our competitive game, should we wait until we get a good opportunity? So,
or should we continue attacking every ball?
There was more, was there? Okay, I missed that bit. Oh, okay, yep. Or should we continue attacking every ball? So with the topspin, Dita, I think you can start to attack basically every ball that comes along to you. So yeah, just try to make that topspin ball. I'm just going to go back and read you the first part of your question, Dita. So if you were still practicing topspin on deep balls and try integrating into our competitive game, should we wait until we get a good opportunity? No, I think yeah, every time the ball's long, you need to get in there and try to practice that topspin when you can. So you might make some mistakes initially, but it's a good habit or practice to get into to start off with, Dita.
Yeah, it is. And I guess, you know, if you're playing a really competitive game, Alice, that you really must win, then you probably want to not do it on strokes where you feel like you're not going to make the shot. But you want to work towards where you can attack every long ball.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, that's where your game needs to head to. So yeah, and as Jeff said, though, I mean, it depends on the importance of the game, right? So if you really want to win the game, then you do what you need to win the game. But if you're playing that game, looking at developing your ability, then yeah, definitely look at making topspin off everything.
Yeah, and to get to that stage where you are, you've got to start somewhere. So you've got to play those top spins when you get a chance. So yeah, it's kind of a balancing act, isn't it? Good question, Dita. All right, Alois. So now that wraps up show 259. Again, thank you everyone for watching. And as we said, we'll be away for a few weeks, but keep an eye out on the website for the next Ask the Coach show. So thank you, everyone, and thank you, Alois.
Thank you, Jeffrey, and thanks, viewers. And yeah, get into your ping pong, just get some practice happening, and we will see you all again soon. Bye.
We will indeed. Bye, everyone.